if they feel that the vital interest has been going threatened by somebody, at that time we are going to review. There is no doubt about it. Because you see, please give me the photos of the innocent people. Our innocent people, all of them are being killing. We are responsible for these people. All of them. This one, Ehsan Eshraqi and Baran Eshraqi, father and girl. His daughter.
We have a...
excuse me, let me. Mahia Nikzad.
Sorry, Ambassador, we actually have a...
It's a very important, this is the innocent people and civilian. I am representative of these people in this country.
No, it's all right. It's so sorry. We have rules about props and not showing photographs and so on. I'm so sorry. And as I said at the outset, we're completely sympathetic to and think that the deaths of civilians on both sides is simply appalling and want it to stop. And that's really what this hearing is about.
Thank you.
Can I move on to Blair?
Ambassador, you spoke with apparent passion at the beginning of your statement about how dangerous the world would be if we embolden aggression and don't act within international law. The Chair asked you for short questions, so I'll give you the opportunity to give a short answer. How many Iranian Shahed drones have been fired by Putin at Ukraine over the last 3 years?
You mean that how many drones?
How many Shahed drones, Iranian Shahed drones, have been fired by Putin at Ukraine over the last 3 years?
You see,
I'm just looking for a number.
I will reply to you. Yes, there is no doubt. You know, the Russian and Iranian defense cooperations originate more than 20 years ago.
You know the number?
No, I don't know.
I'll tell you the number. The number is 8,000. Okay, I put it to you that if we do live in a world now where violence and might are taking precedent over law and right, I would suggest that the Iranian regime has a deep responsibility for that. Let me ask you another question, and again, this is a question with a simple number as an answer. The Director General of MI5 identified a number of plots backed by Iran in this country, including lethal threats against Iranian dissidents and against Jewish communities here. How many plots had he identified in the last 3 years?
He claimed 22, but
yep.
Let me answer to you. Let me answer to you. First of all, this is very important. Please correct your wording that the Iranian government is a lawful and very important and significant and respectful government.
What's the legal,
there is no need to using the regime
Putin's
for
war?
them.
What's the legal basis for Putin's war then, if you are such a supporter of international law?
Let me. I'm telling to you correct your wording regarding for my government. My government is a legal government, and there is no doubt about it. But you should use the regime. It's a very lawful and legally responsible state in the world.
What's the legal basis for Putin's war in Ukraine?
Let me. I will answer you. Please,
if you're a fan
please
of
let me
international
finish.
law.
You see, regarding for the Oregon defense cooperation that Iran and the Russian Federation, it's a very important, and we declared to the Russian side not to use our cooperation with the third party against the third party. You can ask them.
8,000 Shahed drones fired at Ukraine. We're not allowed to do props, but seeing as you did, there is one of your drones hitting an apartment block in Kyiv.
You can ask this
night.
question from the Russian Federation, sir.
They're your weapons.
You can ask this question. I'm asking this question from your side that using, or the American side that using the same military equipment against the Iranian people. You do not have any defense cooperation or military cooperation between Israel and Britain?
I'm suggesting.
No. Please
I'm suggesting.
Yes or no. Yes or no. Excellency.
You're
yes
here
or
to
no.
answer questions, Ambassador.
Oh, no. This is
I'm
very
suggesting
important.
your moral authority is shredded by your support for
If you ask me to answer you, Excellency, if you ask me to answer your question, there is your duty to answer my question, because this is the dialogue room. I came here to declare our concerns to the one responsible state, the United Kingdom. I respect the United Kingdom for his achievement to the human, community in the world.
I think,
and United Kingdom is a member state of the Security Council of the United Nations. Why why don't you condemn the Israeli armed attack to Iran? You didn't condemn it.
Your Excellency,
and regarding for the plots.
Your Excellency, we're very. Your Excellency, we're very
he asked
grateful.
me one question regarding for the MI5. May I ask you? May I answer to?
No, wait.
Okay, please.
What I would like to do.
Okay, please.
If we could just take a breath.
Okay.
It is really, we are very grateful to you for coming.
Thank you.
And the evidence that you've given in the round is what's important. And it's the evidence that you give, and we listen to what it is that you say. And what we're trying to do by asking questions is to test what you're saying.
Thank you so much.
But we're not really in a position to speak on behalf of the British government. We are here to test your evidence, to try to make a contribution, which is so that we can hear the Iranian point of view, but not just take it at face value, but also to test it, and that is what we're trying to do in good faith. And I have a few people who still want to have questions. Perhaps I should go to Sir John first, and then I'll go on the other side.
Thank you. I'd just like to follow up Blair's question, Ambassador. You'll be aware that the British government has said that Iran represents one of the greatest threats to the security of the United Kingdom, and for that reason has been placed, the first nation to be placed on the enhanced tier of a foreign influence registration scheme. Now, you referred in your opening remark to the attack on the Iranian broadcasting organisation, and you described that as a war crime. I've been to visit Iran International, which is based in London, whose journalists have been subjected to threats from Iran on a daily basis, where a journalist was stabbed in a London street, and where Iranian citizens are currently being accused of conducting that. I've also talked to BBC Persian journalists whose families are being daily harassed by the Iranian regime in Tehran. So why are those not war crimes, and how do you defend the behavior of the Iranian government?
I think this is an irrelevant question. I'm sorry, sir, because I'm telling you regarding for the Israeli aggression, but with your respect, I will respond to you. I do believe that regarding for these claims has been raised by different people, we need evidences. We need evidences. Several times we declared to the Foreign Office to have some consultation meetings with the military services regarding for the address all of these issues. These issues are some allegations and blaming against my country. Yes, we have some criticism regarding for the BBC Persian activities. They are going to making some, intervening of our Iranian domestic affairs. But according to our British bilateral diplomatic relations, we several times we suggested to British authority to consider in bilateral consultations. There is no doubt about it that if you have any evidences, please submit. We will consider it. But sometimes making some allegation and something with regarding after that, Excellency mentioned for the report of the MI5. Several times, more than 10 times, we declared by verbal note in diplomatic negotiation, please send we will send our security services to have this kind of, to resolve these matters raising in our bilateral relations. We have very, constructive, business-like diplomatic relations. Your ambassador, Mr. Hugo Schurter, is working in Tehran in your embassy, and I came to London after the vacancy of the 3 years. We do not have any ambassador, and I am very keen to provide and prepare different cooperation between Iran and United Kingdom. I'm assure you, sir, that Iranian side is ready to cooperate for everything. Cultural, economic, security, everything. According to your evidences that you have, or evidences, we can share it.
Ambassador, the statement by the Director General of the Security Service that there have been over 20 assassination and abduction plots, that has no the Iranian government has no responsibility for those. And you referred earlier to your support for freedom of the press in terms of the Iranian Broadcasting Corporation. So whilst you may have criticisms of the BBC Persian service, there has been no harassment or intimidation of their relatives, and you have not, the government of Iran is not responsible for any threats against Iranian journalists based in London working for Iran International. Is that the case?
I told you, Excellency, I told you that these matters should be considered. Should be considered between the expertise groups. This is some claims. Please, no, there is no doubt that the Iranian side is ready to cooperate with the British side to consider and remove this kind of misunderstandings.
Alex.
Ambassador, you talked at the start in your statement about Israel attacking civilian nuclear facilities across Iran. I understand from wide reporting that Iran has been enriching uranium up to 60% in a large quantity and now up to 80 or 90%, in both cases, in fact, there is no civilian purpose for this uranium. It can only be moving towards the development of a nuclear weapon. What justification is Iran giving for enriching this uranium, for moving